And right now we're going to go back to the studios with the latest words from Mr. Vince Quatroche.
I went over to Walt Whitman's house the other day. He wasn't home. The elderly caretaker told me that he had been born there and left some time ago. We talked for a while, and then I read her something or other I'd written, and I left to sit out in the yard on a little bench and smoke and write something more or other. It was March raw and the sunshine weak enough not to put up a fight. And this is what comes about with a picnic with ghosts. Upon Walt Whitman Road, one may ride to shop in the Walt Whitman Mall, then try to decide what film to see in the Walt Whitman XXX Cinema. Later, I ate Walt Whitman pizza and longed for more. The smell, the taste, the color, after the sensation in the raw extreme, temper the mood of the music in the Walt Whitman Mall. There was a health spa with a tanning saloon and a full salad bar. That was right next to a hardware store in which a restless man paces squeaky shoes that pass on a smooth linoleum floor. Hear the sound that they move to? $1 million and change, and bills and jills contracting common sparks and thrills. The laws look here to save this big, beautiful temple, built for no one save those who can afford the orange fountains. Glistening about the objects are bully, bushy, shovey shopping. There was a health spa with a tanning saloon and a full salad bar. I was right next to a hardware store in which a restless man, squeaky shoes pass on a smooth linoleum floor. A sneaker, a watch or a watch, a click-clack, click-clack. Of the heels of the high yields, echo like an echo, strutting reflection shoved to the ground. Shoved down to the ground, held fast down by the click-clack heels of high yields. In the whirl of sand quick, grain by grain, possession by possession, clutter by clutter. Gadget addiction for space gidget. Gadget addiction for space gidget. Wrong Island. Hey, Walt, it's become Wrong Island. Upon Walt Whitman Road, one may ride to shop in the Walt Whitman Mall and try to decide what film to see in the Walt Whitman XXX Cinema. Later, I ate Walt Whitman pizza and longed for more.
Vince Quatroche. And just a reminder, the Fredonia Media Council will be presenting Meet the Media on Monday, the 28th, at 7:30 in the evening in the Campus Center. This will be a forum to let the community air their questions concerning the campus media, WCVF AM and FM, WNYF TV6, and The Leader. And right now, we have the inimitable Mr. Manners.
And now, High Noon Friday proudly presents the man who thinks Muammar Gaddafi is a pretty okay guy, Mr. Manners.
Dear Fuzzface, what have you done about this Dear Josephine, huh? Seems like I asked this question about 2 months ago, and you just gave me the runaround. Can the leader really be so naive as to offer an advice column?
Gentle listener, Mr. Manners agrees that the leader has been more like a follower this semester. Dear Josephine isn't even a member of Local 912 of the Media Advice Union, of which Lucy Lincoln is president. So I'm afraid those who take advice from scabs are as naive as those who run the leader. Therefore, I challenge dear Josephine, Ethan Lack's style, to an advice-off right here on High Noon Friday. Will she accept? That's hard to say because no one knows who dear Josephine is.
Dear Mr. Manners, I'm a reasonable man. Now, do you think it's right that Temple Street is in the condition it's in? I mean, every time I drive down it, I experience new forms of kinkiness. In other words, what I'm trying to say is my car becomes one big vibrator. Who's responsible for this glaring absurdity called Temple Street? Thank you.
Gentle listener, the glaring absurdity called Temple Street is actually a test course paid for by the makers of a new truck called Bigfoot. You know those monster car crushers you see on TV? Well, they'll be offered to consumers starting next fall. Think of the advantages of owning a Bigfoot during, say, rush hour. So you see, if Temple Street were paved now, Fredonia would lose a pothole of money.
Dear Mr. Manners, I find myself in a precarious, tumultuous situation ad hoc. I've been invited to an Arbor Day tree planting cum ceremony, and I query, what should an ultra-conservative pseudo-Reaganite who espouses Red Wing peanut butter wear to such a positively grungy event? And oh, keep in mind, I may get my hands dirty. Repeat, may get my hands dirty.
Gentle listener, on Arbor Day, it's best not to look seedy. A three-piece suit would be pine. Branch out and take the best route. Chances are your problems stem from... Never mind, wear anything. Mr. Manners reminds you to hug a tree today. Because without trees, well, there wouldn't be shade. And without shade, there wouldn't be people sitting under trees in the shade. And without people sitting under trees in the shade, there wouldn't be love. And without love, there wouldn't be babies. And without babies, there wouldn't be... this world wouldn't be a nice place. And there wouldn't be tape decks either. And there wouldn't be VCRs. And there wouldn't be erasable pencils. And there wouldn't be...
Rouser.
Thank you, Mary. That was Mr. Manners. And don't forget, if there weren't trees, there wouldn't be tape decks and VCRs and erasable pencils. And what? Oxygen. And oxygen, of course, there wouldn't be. But, well, I was going to say something about somebody that said trees are great pollutants, but I won't get into that one. What? Who is that somebody? I don't know. Whoever it is, he must not know much about things. Anyhow, we'd like to thank everybody once again for coming down